Probably the biggest thing that I hear from people when I'm talking about LinkedIn for sales and business growth is, I hate getting a cold message. I hate getting pitched on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a big pitch fest, and I hate getting that. I would never do that. I would never ever do cold outreach, or never any of that. I would never do it. And I kind of laugh because I hear a lot of people say that, and it's almost like there's no way that app actually works. I've never responded to one of those messages before. And I said, well, actually, you responded to the message that we sent you, and that's why you're on a call with us, right? And so I'll have people that we book meetings with from LinkedIn cold outreach that say, I would never do LinkedIn cold outreach. It's just so tacky. Okay, great. What was it about our message that made you want to get on this call today? Well, I thought it was interesting, and this, that, and the other. So you may have heard me say this before. It's like, we only notice, if you hate sales, you probably hate sales because you only remember and notice the bad salespeople, and you don't want to be like that slimy salesperson. If you hate the LinkedIn pitches, it's probably because you're just getting a lot of bad ones, and they're not actually interesting you. They're not actually speaking to something that you want, and so you're just like, oh, I hate that. And it's the same as like plastic surgery. We only notice the bad plastic surgery. Like, you never notice the nose job that was done right because it was done right. We can't notice it. We only notice the ones that were done wrong. I would never get plastic surgery. It looks so bad. You see what I'm saying? So when I think of using LinkedIn for sales and growth, there's a couple components I think of. But what I want to do is I want to walk you through the realities, having generated hundreds of thousands of bookings for companies, working with anywhere from the solopreneur to teams with 2 sales reps to 250 to 300 plus sales reps, generating them thousands of bookings and kind of everything in between. I want to bring reality to you of how you can use LinkedIn for new business, for sales, for growth, even through all of the LinkedIn changes. There's been so many LinkedIn changes over the year, and every time it changes, people are like, oh, good, LinkedIn is no longer going to work. And every single time we've got it to work. You're always going to be able to figure it out. It's the biggest business-to-business platform on the planet. The platform is designed to do networking. Yeah, they create new rules and it becomes strict, and you're only allowed to do all this stuff, but it's a business-to-business networking platform. And so that means you can reach out to other businesses and communicate with them and ultimately turn them into customers. So I want to walk you through that today. Before I do, make sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm going to help you do 2 things. I'm going to help you sell more, and I'm going to help you scale more. That's it. So make sure to subscribe. Also stay to the end because I do want to give you a bonus training that's going to really help you out. So first off, let's look at a couple different strategies. So if we look at the kind of first strategy, the content marketing strategy, we've all heard that the term content is what? Content is king, they say, but that's not true. Content is not king. Content that is seen is king, because how many blog posts are out there? How many YouTube videos are out there? How many articles? How many Instagram posts? How many billions, if not trillions of posts are out there that are not seen? And there's people that will spend an obscene amount of time creating content that's never seen. So remember, content that is seen is king. It's not the best products that are sold, it's the best known products that are sold. So we want to get seen, we want to be known here. So 2 things with your content marketing strategy on LinkedIn is, number 1, you have to build your network with the right audience. So you want to be building your network as aggressively as you can with the right audience. It's also critical that you optimize your profile to show up when people search for you. Now, I have a whole LinkedIn training on how to do the optimization of the profile. That's not for today, but if you want to do that, check out the other video on that. I'll show you how to optimize your profile, but you want to make sure your profile is optimized to make you look like the expert, but also you can kind of like SEO it and optimize it so that it actually shows up high and when people do LinkedIn searches, which will be really good because then you'll have people reaching out to you and connecting with you. So to build great content and go to the content marketing strategy area, you want to have a big network. So start building your network as soon as possible. Also on the content marketing side, depending when you're watching this video, LinkedIn will sometimes really favor video, or they'll really favor this thing and the other. So you do want to stay up on trends on what kind of content that LinkedIn is favoring, so that when you are posting content, that you're posting the type of content that LinkedIn favors. I do know that you want to be posting on a regular basis and giving value or doing something that's going to engage your audience. Because if you're posting on a daily basis, at the current time, it takes about 90 days to break into LinkedIn's algorithm. So you got to post daily for 90 days before they're going to see that you're serious. Just so you know, this is the content marketing strategy site. You don't have to do this part. We don't do this part much for our clients at all, but I want to make you aware of this. You're going to take about 90 days of posting every day to break through their algorithms, but you also need to be posting good content that people are engaging with, so that they see over these 90 days that people are engaging with your stuff. And then over time, what'll happen is with your content marketing is you'll have your network, but your content will actually push past your network, and it'll show up to other people because your people are going to be liking it, and then their network's going to see it. So make sure you're pushing out great content, but if you are going to commit to this, it is going to have to be a minimum of a 90-day thing where you're doing it daily before you're going to even break through that algorithm. And the next part we're going to jump into is the cold outreach, which is very, very effective. But I want to ask you, before we get into this, some people don't get pitched much on LinkedIn, and some people, they like their position, their job, or their title, or whatever, where they're getting 1,000 pitches a day. So not everybody's getting pitched a lot on LinkedIn. Some are, some aren't. But most of the pitches out there are bad. So let me ask you, are you getting pitched? Do you already have a negative taste in your mouth against the cold outreach? If you do, are you convinced that the product and service you have to offer your prospects will help them? Because if it will help them, I highly suggest that you get past any potentially negative ideas you have about the cold outreach part, because it is insanely effective. It is literally the most bang for your buck business to business marketing strategy on the planet is cold outreach through LinkedIn. And we've been doing this for like 5 or plus years. I mean, coming on like 6 or 7 years, all the years blown together on LinkedIn, and it has worked from the beginning until now. And all these changes that keep happening, oh, LinkedIn no longer works, it's gonna keep working better, because guess what? More and more people are getting on this platform, and the more junk, crappy messages you see coming in, that means if you create a good offer, a good message for your prospect, it's actually going to stick out. So if we're looking at, which is the number 2, so number 1 was content that is seen as king. So creating a good content marketing strategy, you have to be seen. If you're just posting every now and then, it's never going to get seen. Number 2 is that cold outreach, and it works really, really well. Now, there was a huge change. I'm not sure when you're watching this, but in May 2021, when you used to be able to ask like 3,000 people a month to connect, and that kind of went down to 100 a week, so it got limited. And there's some different loopholes I'm not going to go into, but we were able to quickly start asking about 3,000 people to connect again within a couple months, and all that loophole might shut and all this. It doesn't matter about all the loopholes and what they can or can't do. The reality is that your people are on there, and no matter what changes LinkedIn makes, as long as you can connect with people, you're still going to be able to effectively get leads and appointments. Like for instance, when they did do that limitation down to 100 people you can connect with a week, when it was like 5 or 6 or 700 before or more, it's crazy. You could do like 120 a day and went to 100 a week. Guess what? Your prospects' inboxes were empty. So now that your prospects' inboxes were empty, as long as you have a high quality message, they're not getting bombarded anymore. Your message will be able to cut through. So there's gonna be a lot of changes up and down, but it is a very effective platform that's not gonna change for at least 3, 4, 5 more years. And this is, coming into 2022 as I record this. So it's a great place to be. Cold outreach is a great place to be. But number 3 is a hybrid where you're doing content marketing that is seen as well as cold outreach. So just imagine this. Imagine you and your business partner, or you have an entire sales team, and you're building the networks and doing cold outreach with your whole team, and they're all building the network and getting meetings and getting appointments and closing deals. On top of that, now you hybrid in the content marketing as king. So you're creating like the daily content, maybe for one primary profile, like the CEO or the owner or somebody like that. And then all of these other accounts are reposting that daily thing. So your spread for the content marketing is getting seen on a massive level. So as you combine both the cold outreach with the content marketing that's actually seen, you create a very powerful effect. Because not only are you doing the cold outreach, but now you're doing whole network you're building. Say you have 10 LinkedIn profiles you're using that's connecting with, thousands of people every single month. Now that thousands of people every single month are seeing all of your content month over month, as your network builds very, very quickly with all these profiles, they're also going to see all of your content. So I highly suggest that you take a hybrid form. Now, if you have to choose time-wise, resource-wise, where do I focus first? I would say cold outreach. 100%. You got to do cold outreach and you got to test the messages until it works. And what you really want to do with your messages is keep it short and keep it them-centered. Remove all the I help this, we do this, remove all the I, me, we stuff and make it about them. Hey, you remind me of a client of ours that we help generate X amount of outcome. If you could get this kind of outcome, would you be open to a quick call? So make it them-centered, make it about their benefit, and make it very, very short and quick so that it's more conversational, right, with your cold outreach. Once you have your cold outreach producing and doing well, now start doing the content marketing, because now you're gonna have the money coming in, you're gonna be able to afford it. But if you had to choose one thing first, I would do the cold outreach first and then add on the content marketing later. If you have the time and resources to do them both, by all means, do them both, but 100% commit to whatever you choose to do, because you can't just commit daily for 30 days with the content marketing. That's just not gonna work. You can't just commit to cold outreach for a month and go, oh, tried it, it didn't work. You're gonna have to do a lot of testing. Sometimes you'll get it right off the bat, sometimes you won't. But that's the three kind of ways that you can do it. Content marketing only, cold outreach only, and then what I would always suggest is doing your hybrid LinkedIn marketing for sales and growth on LinkedIn. Now, when we're thinking of content marketing, don't be focusing on promotion. Don't be focusing on all of that, like, hey, we do this, hey, we do this, hey, message me if you want this. Put your content marketing to be the focus on value, offering your prospects value, setting yourself as the expert in your space, giving them value, because the more value you give, the more trust you're gonna build, and the more you're gonna position yourself as an expert in your space. And guess what happens when you're positioning yourself as an expert in this space, then are needing that kind of expert. You become that go-to because they're seeing you everywhere. They're seeing you everywhere. So make sure that your actual content marketing, even though your cold outreach is gonna be very direct and salesy, your content marketing should not be salesy. It should be offering value. You wanna stay in front of them and you want them to like your posts. You want them to keep seeing your posts. You want them to engage with your posts, and you're not gonna do that if you're overly promotional and spammy. So you're going, Tim, on one side you're telling me to be spammy and salesy with my pitch and my outreach, but on the other side you're saying don't do that in the content marketing. Yes, of course, because in our direct outreach we want to be direct. In our content marketing we want to offer value. It's that simple. Now if you stay to the end for that bonus training, I promise you I do have a guide for you that's going to help you. We coach clients. We have clients that are paying us $10, $50, $20, $50,000 a month to get them appointments and work with their sales team, and I want to get you a free training that's going to show you exactly how we do that on the back end, step by step. We don't make any money from that training. So for me to you, take that. If you get some great results from it, just let me know, give us a testimony. And also before I do that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you got value from this, if you have any questions, I will be in the comments answering them. And if you stay to the end for that bonus training, click that link down there, because I'm gonna help you do two things. Help you sell more and scale more. This is Tim Dodd with the Tim Dodd Show, and I'll see you soon.